Hey guys, so we're going to have a look at the averages. So we did at Junior Cert, it was very popular at Leaving Cert and comes up on paper 2. There could be a couple of questions got to do with statistics, and so it's worth a good bit of marks here. So say for example we have this list of numbers here. So there's 5 numbers there. If I want to find the mean of that number, I add them up and I divide them. So I add 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 11, which gives me 40. And there's 5 numbers there, so I divide it all by 5 and I get 8. So very straightforward there. Add up all the numbers in the list, divide them by the amount of numbers on the list. You might get a decimal as your answer, that's perfectly fine. The second one you have is the most, which is the mode. So which comes up the most here? So let's do a little different list of numbers. I'll give you the 2 different situations you can have. So if I have 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 8. That's a very obvious situation. The mode there is 4. 4 comes up 3 times. 5 comes up twice, so it doesn't come up as many times as 4, and 3 and 8 only come up once. A little bit more tricky is if I have 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 8. I can actually have 2 modes there. So my mode is going to be 4 and 5. They both come up more than once, they'll come up the same amount of times. Or if no number came up more than once, I could have no mode. So there's a few different situations there that you have to watch out for. The median, well, the median is the middle number. Now there's 2 situations here. I can have an odd amount of number or an even amount of numbers. So let's do a list with an odd amount of numbers. And notice I'm putting from smallest to biggest. This only works if you put it from smallest to biggest. So I've got 5, 8, 9, 11, 13. But if I start taking one from each side, so 5 and 13, 8 and 11, I'm left with 1 in the middle. And that's my median. I've got 2 numbers this side of it, 2 numbers this side of it. Make it slightly more difficult if I have an even amount of numbers. So I've got 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm going to start taking one from each end. One from there, one from there, one from there, one from there. Now I've got 2 numbers in the middle. So I just go halfway between them. So halfway between 10 and 12 is 11. I could add them together, 10 plus 12 is 22. Divided by 2 gives me 11. And the last one is the range, which is fairly straightforward. We're going to look at something more difficult a bit later on called the interquartile range. But the range is the biggest one, it's the smallest. So if I have a list of numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Range is 7 minus 3. So 4 is the difference between the biggest and the smallest, and that's the range. Going to have a little look at some frequency tables now. Now there's 2 types of frequency tables you can have. One is slightly more difficult than the other, but they're both not too bad. So if you look here, this is information gathered about the amount of occupants per vehicle. So say for example someone went out to the car park there and watched people come into school. They would have seen 6 cars with 1 driver, just 1 person in it, 9 cars with 2 people in it, 4 cars with 3 people in it, and so on, so on, so on. So this is the amount of people in a car times by the amount of people, or amount of cars that we've seen with that amount of people in it. So you could write out a big long list. So you see 6 cars with 1 person, you could do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 6 times. 9 cars with 2 people, so you could do 2, 2, 2, 2, 9 times, and you could keep going like that. But there's a slightly simpler way to do it. We're just going to times them together. So I'm going to do 6 times 1 plus 2 times 9 plus 3 times 4 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 4 plus 6 times 3. So I'm just timesing this by this, 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 and this by this. I'm going to put it all over the amount of vehicles or cars, which is 6 plus 9 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. And when I times out the top line, my calculator I get 90. The bottom line here, I get 30. 90 divided by 30 gives me 3. So on average, there's 3 people in each of the cars. Now that makes sense if you look here. So it comes in around here, so you know you're on the right track. The slightly more difficult situation is if you have got a range of values. So if you have a range of values here, right, we've got, this is the marks achieved in the test, so we got between 1 and 5, 6 and 10, 11 and 15, 16 and 20, and 21 and 25. So 11 students got between 1 and 5, 12 students got between 6 and 10, and so on, so on, so on. Here we don't have an individual value. So what we do is we use our best guess. So we take the middle. So the middle value between 1 and 5 is 3. How I get that is I add 1 plus 5 gives me 6, and I divide it by 2. Between 6 and 10, the middle value is 8. Between 11 and 15, the middle value is 13. We've got 18 here, and we've got 23 here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. So I'm going to times the amount of students by my middle value. So I'm going to do 11 times 3. I'm going to do 8 times 12. I'm going to do 15 times 13. I'm going to do 9 times 18. And finally, I'm going to do 3 times 23. Again, I'm going to put it over the amount of students there are. So I'm going to add together my bottom line. So I'm going to do 11 plus 12 plus 15 plus 9 plus 3. And when I multiply out the top line, I get 555. When I add up the bottom line, I get 23, 33, 38, 50. And if I divide 50 into 555, I get 11.1. And if you look here, you know you're right, because we're looking for the mean. So 11.1 comes in around here, so you're in the right ballpark, so you can be pretty confident during an exam.